Hi, this video is especially for the fresh graduates and the job seekers. We will share you some employment information. If you are one of them, I hope you can continue watching. According to the Labour Force Malaysia report, there were 772,900 people who were unemployed in December 2020. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to spread across the world, with a spike in new daily cases in Malaysia, it is foreseen that Malaysia's labour force will remain challenging in early 2021. Along the year of 2020, this pandemic brings new opportunities as well as challenges to all industry. Taking the initiative to know the future trends of the industry's development is better than waiting the recovery from the uncertainties. So, we are here, 5 people.
Hi. Hello.
To talk about adapting yourself in the hottest industry today. Firstly, we'll look what industries are hot now and their trends. Next, we will discuss what kind of positions the company are going to hire. And finally, we will mention the specific skills for the positions. So, here we go.
In Malaysia, by August 2020, the industrial output increases by 0.3% year-on-year, led by manufacturing growth.
Wait a minute.
I wonder, is our subsector of manufacturing industry contributing to the growth?
The answer is no. The manufacturing sector output based on year-on-year comparison grew by 2.4% in August 2020 after recording an increase of 2.9% in July 2020. The major subsectors contributing to the growth in the manufacturing sector in August 2020 were electrical and electronic products, which is 6.9%, transport equipment and other manufacturers, which is 6.9%, as well as food, beverages and tobacco, which is 4.7%.
In this situation, the corporate will be hire white collar or blue collar more.
So basically, they are mostly seeking for the engineers. To overcome the excess orders, the engineers are important to supervise the manufacturing process to ensure the quality work is done in a safe, efficient manner and on schedule. They are also need develop plans that improve production, cost, and the labor required. Not only that, they need to come out with some solutions and recommendations whenever there is a problem. Skillful in computer science is essential in this industry because skills like programming are variable across a broad range of engineering disciplines and are appealing to prospective employers.
Actually, so that means there are many opportunities for the engineers and they have a high salary, but it requires experience and capability, or else their salary will not be going higher.
It is true. Not only that, manufacturing employees are more likely than any other workers to have significant employer-provided benefits such as medical insurance and retirement packages. The financial services industry is witness a continued and aggressive focus on digitization and the adoption of new and emerging technologies to bring in operational efficiency, enhance speed to market, and deliver superior customer experiences. You should be familiar with wealth management, mutual funds, insurance, accountancy, credit card, and banking. Banks are cutting down spending on branches to invest in self-service digital channels such as mobile and online banking become more popular among customers. Digital wearable devices. Banks are cutting down spending on branches to invest in self-service digital channels as mobile and online banking become more popular among customers. Digital wearable devices, which pack the power of smartphones, are making it increasingly feasible for banks to offer targeted services to customers. Furthermore, the sales of insurance companies have grown last year. The Life Insurance Association of Malaysia, Liang, mentioned that strong performance happened in third quarter of 2020 was mainly due to enhancement in the investment-linked business, growing by some 94% from 737.72 million in second quarter in 2020 to 1.43 billion in third quarter in 2020.
I believe that it is affected by the pandemic. Many people are aware of their health and start to buy more or upgrade their existing insurance plans. Their concern will persist as long as the pandemic is not over, and these are the opportunities for sales.
Yeah, you're right. And this position basically needs degree holder in finance because they always need to know how is the economics going.
I think they need more skill other than a degree certificate because they need to transfer the information, analyze the customers' needs, and convince them. I can see more and more people step into this industry. They have to be very professional in order to survive in the competition.
Yes, many people are attracted by the high commission rate initially, but they need to read a lot of newspapers, financial articles, and books constantly so that they can provide suitable advices and solutions. Those who are not enterprising will be eliminated. On top of that, they need to be capable in building networking and communicating to make a deal.
Some people don't even believe in insurance. The insurance agent need to be patient to gain their trust.
Yeah, but from my point of view, the commission is definitely worth for their hard work. And when they achieve the MDRT, COT, and TOT, they will get a bonus from the company.
Construction is one of the hottest industry as there is a high demand in the market. There is a survey that conducted by the job street stated that this construction industry has been ranked at top 3 in Malaysia. In addition, data from Talent Corp shows that engineers are also in demand in construction sector. The public and private sector of the construction industry actually contributes greatly to the Malaysian economy.
But we know that MCO brought on by the COVID-19 outbreak has affected the progress of several construction projects as most sites were ordered to stop working. Although some key infrastructure projects were allowed to continue with limits on the number of workers and working hours.
These restrictions definitely have hampered the work progress for several companies, but analysts remain optimistic that the industry will recover once the MCO constraints are lifted and work continues. I'm going to be honest that Malaysia is lack of talents in this field. Recruitment in the construction industry is always active, so it's expected that more candidates will switch employers by 2021. However, the pull factor have to very compelling to the job seekers, especially passive candidates who will have a long wish list. For example, these candidates will seek to work with the companies that have a strong project pipeline, good financial performance during COVID-19, no recent record of retrenchment or pay cut salary, as well as a strong management team that is capable of leading the organization through the pandemic. With lower hiring budget during the pandemic, in-demand candidates who switch employers in 2021 can negotiate for a 10 to 15% salary increment, a downward trend from the 20 to 25% offered pre-COVID.
Regardless of how the economy is doing, people will always require medical attention. This COVID-19 pandemic has shown the importance of healthcare and that there is always a shortage of manpower in the industry.
Another concern is the healthcare industry is so diverse. The healthcare sectors includes life science, biotechnology, pharmaceutical services, and healthcare equipment. The professionals not only have to work together to provide medical care to people worldwide, they are also responsible for developing new technology and medical procedures to enhance health.
It's true. The healthcare industry is so large and diverse. At the same time, It has been one of the fastest growth for an industry. It is growing exponentially with 8 of the 20 fastest growing careers, and it is projected to grow by 18%. 2.4 million jobs within 2016 to 2026.
So, will the hospitals hire the people with lower education level? Not everyone is able to get a medical degree.
One can work in the healthcare industry regardless of their education level. For example, one can become a nurse while being a diploma holder. They could also become a medical technician if they have only studied up to secondary school. For degree holders, they could pursue many people's childhood dream jobs such as being a doctor.
I'm interested to know how much does their job pay?
I give some example. Healthcare admin job offer up to nearly 340,000 ringgit annual salary. Some of the highest paid specialists in the medical field, like neurosurgeons, make an average of an estimate of 2.4 million ringgit a year. The healthcare industry also offers a luxurious bonus of 22,000 ringgit a year averagely, ranking 7th among all industry for the highest average bonus. Besides the position I mentioned, they are also going to hire physician, a general term for a doctor who has earned a medical degree, pharmacists, therapists, and nurses. Moreover, they can work in hospital, clinic, and nursing home.
We all know that the importance of technology to business success. In 2021, most of the community is working remotely, but what is the really needed in the current industry? So what kind of position is in demand? First of all is the data administrator. They help and organize data for companies or customers. Next is the information technology analyst. They are responsible for designing and implementing organizational technology for business. Third one is information technology leadership. Leadership in IT helps in management in the IT working group and also increase the working efficiency. Last but not least is the computer support specialist. They are the ones who help computer users and also organizations in support computer networks by testing and evaluating network system in ensuring that the day-to-day operations work. So, what are the specific skills for each of the positions? From my opinion, we study that problem-solving skill is very important. Basic programming skill is needed as we need to have fundamental knowledge about the industry. And web design is much needed. Data tabulation is an added value, and also management skill and communication skill is needed in every business.
What are the famous companies in the IT industry?
The big one can be Intel, Google, Microsoft, and IBM. It involves a lot of fields like telecommunications, blockchain, investment, e-commerce, and many more. IT is high in demand as people are growing to be dependable towards accessing their work via online.
Okay, the Malaysia government is focusing on education as the highest priority in the country's development. Although students are not attending classes due to the COVID-19, many people still turn to e-learning methods to continue classes. Besides, there is an article from Job Street about the Malaysia's 5 most popular industries has mentioned that during the NCR period, the demand for education had not decreased, and with Malaysia's plan to become a higher education center, the field will continue to grow in the near future. So besides, our Malaysian new Director General of Higher Education, Datuk Seri Muhammad Mustafa Ishak, has stated a goal which is to boost digital education post-COVID-19 during his tenure. Well, this is a trend for the education industry. I think this is the right direction to go. As classes move online in the foreseeable future, the government will need to tighten cybersecurity to defend computers, electronic systems, and network from malicious attacks. Therefore, recruitment of the digital forensics has to be increased to support tertiary education institutions. And due to the surge in talent demand, app developers and cybersecurity experts can expect up to a 20% increment when switching employers in 2021. In addition, Professor Muhammad Mustahad said he also wanted to focus on graduate employability and entrepreneurship in higher education institutions.
If you don't understand the aspects of multimedia, I'm sure you are familiar with movies, games, and music. These are the output of the multimedia. I'm also sure that almost everyone loves Disney and Marvel and watch news through BBC before. These are the examples of media organizations. They produce content with the aim of making money from our consumption. Now, we could see the next normal are spend more time on surfing social media, playing games, watching videos, and listening to the music. 51.1% of Malaysians spend 5 hours to 18 hours daily in internet in 2020. Due to the intensive demand of the market, the media organizations are going to hire a lot of talented people in front and behind of scenes for their production.
Besides that, instead of billboard advertisements, business will want to promote themselves online and create a buzz. And they need to be creative as never before. The secret is combining IT with multimedia to grow business.
Yes, the companies need multimedia experts be good at technology to work for them. For example, video editor, camera operator, content creator, broadcaster, animator, graphic designer, and web developer. Some multimedia companies even come out courses to the public about how to create more professional and quality photos, videos, copywriting, and animation that can be viral. They recruit partners and team members with different talents to carry out the courses.
We also can see the rise of YouTubers in recent years has increased the demand for multimedia professions.
Yes, not only they are the legitimate content creators themselves. Behind them are a group of multimedia experts helping them to produce, publish, and distribute content constantly in their YouTube channels. Digital media continues to evolve as new tools emerge. Consumers make new demands, and the quality and accessibility of the technologies improve. The rise of mobile videos, virtual reality, augmented reality, and the more refined use of data analytics will all influence the future of digital media.
This video has finally come to an end. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you.